I wake up, which is the hardest part, around about 5-ish, 6-ish. And then I'll get up, I'll make my breakfast, I'll come down, load everything onto the boat, make sure everything's organised, make sure everything's clean. We're solely based in Lyme Regis, so we're moored up here. While I am still training up, I'm just trying to learn everything about fishing so I can, go full into it and be confident about it. That's in relation to the tide, the wind, the weather, the ropes, the knots, the whole craft and skill of doing everything. I'm Sam Shuker, 17-year-old starter fisherman. So we're heading around the coast from Lyme to Beer. We're heading to the marine reserve. We're just going to drop some dives down, pick up the scallops. Here's my father, aka the captain. It's more of a skipper really, I'm the captain. And now we have George here, who's our third diver, and he's just been training up for a while, and now he's starting to do it full time.
Nearly there yet?
25 metres.
This is where you came up from your 5-bag dive. It's pretty slack, slightly running to the east.
Go get him.
Computer set.
So we're going to drop the diver down, have one on board just for safety.
It's good visibility. So now we just wait until he comes up. Start sending some bags up, hopefully.
Start getting some scallops, yeah. One of my main jobs is to keep an eye on for divers. The wind's blowing us back a bit, so we're going to start moving a bit faster. So I just keep an eye on the bubble and make sure the bubble's coming up so I know he's okay. I can usually tell when something's wrong, so if he's coming up quite fast, the bubbles will get bigger. So I always have a eye on what's happening, even if I can't see him or talk to him. Bag up! First one of the day. Winch on! 1, 2, 3. And then I'll process those scallops to the 3 sizes that we have, which is large, small and medium. And the undersize I'll throw back. Yep, small. We chuck the small ones back to make sure that we have scallops for the future generations. We are reaping the rewards of people who have left this area alone and let these scallops grow. So it's our responsibility, as anyone else's, to make sure that these scallops here are here for the future. We're diving in Lyme Bay Reserve generally because it's so good around here. The scallop sizes are better. The scallops are much more cleaner and they are much more better quality than a dredge scallop. There's less grit in them. I've talked to people and they always tell me that when they cook them, they get this lovely golden brown on the outside. So when you are buying a premium scallop, a hand dive scallop, you're getting something which is sustainable and also much better quality.
It's delicious. Well, the Lyme Bay Reserve runs roughly from edge of Sidmouth right down to Weymouth. Stretches, up to 5 or 6 miles out. Must be coming up 7 or 8 years now, but it's not fished so intensively. There's no trawling or dredging, and you're limited on the amount of gear you can use, like with nets or pots. There used to be, I was told, 18 dredgers dredging in this bay. It must be hard when you've been fishing an area for a long time to be told that you can't fish it anymore. I wouldn't like it, but it is you've got to look at the long term, and it is a good thing to have these reserves. And the other good thing is that the overspill from the fish, it moves out to the deeper water where they can dredge and trawl, so it does benefit the dredgers and trawlers.
The marine reserve isn't just important for Devon, Dorset or the south coast, it's important for all of the world. It's an example of what our natural environment can do. It doesn't just grow back, it prospers. Such a range of biodiversity. It's not just little spider crabs or fish, it's corals, it's sea squirts. If we leave our fish stocks and leave our environment alone, we can reap the rewards in 10 years' time. If we can show that this marine reserve does work, it does keep fish alive and it does keep our industry going. Who knows that if Europe puts it in place, or America or Canada, anywhere, is that we can recuperate from years of overfishing. Oh, yeah. Oh, we got a crab. 3 months of the year we aren't able to dive because the marine reserve is closed. So it's important to us that we have a variety of fishing methods and species, so netting and potting, so we're not putting all our eggs in one basket. It ends up like anything when you work with your dad. It's a lot of arguments and a lot of headbutting, but working with him now, it's really kind of made me realise what kind of person he is and what a grumpy teenager I would have been and what I thought about him. It's changed. Yeah, I've got to know him really well. Bon voyage. He's an incredibly experienced fisherman, so he knows what works and what doesn't. Once I get my diving sorted out, I'll be going off onto another boat on my own, or with another diver. For the moment, before I actually go off on my own, I'm just trying to get what it is to be a fisherman from him. Seeing what my father's gone through, I always knew if I was going to come into the industry, it's always going to be an uphill fight. Not just for trying to get your business set up, but just for trying to get the quotas that you deserve. With regulations coming in, I do understand that a lot of them are necessary to keep our fish stocks healthy and keep this industry alive. But it feels like I'm being regulated more than they're working with me. Because we are the people who see what's coming up. We see what's in our nets, we see what's down below. And we see these sanctions on us which seem completely ludicrous. Well, there's a fish which is bountiful and we are getting hundreds of them coming through, and we can't even take 5, and then we're getting 5 fish which are being hammered completely. I mean, I feel like I'm being suffocated by the people who should be protecting us, especially as a small fisherman. It's going to be a fight for me now, it's going to be a fight for me in the future.
Well, it is very difficult for youngsters to get into the industry. I do question it, am I doing the right thing? But it's something he wants to do, and if you've only got one life, haven't you? You've got to live it. I've never really had to encourage Sam into fishing. He's always loved it. And I think he's quite a romantic at heart. You see him out staring out to sea, and he does love it, and he appreciates the beauty in the sea.
The thing I love about fishing the most really is just how freeing it is. Just how being alone on the boat and just being around nature and being almost by yourself in this mass of water, it's magical really. Don't come into this industry thinking that's going to be easy. You can't get discouraged if someone turns you down. You just got to keep persevering. I mean, this job has taught me not just skills, but kind of how to work with people. Because I'm on a boat with people in the sea for 8-10 hours, and you get to learn how to do a job properly and how to organise your life really. The opportunities I have, it's so much more than a job. It's more of a hobby, a life. It's something that I live for really. I am determined to, if I have to, fight for it, and if it comes to it, rebuild it.